Hey everybody, we are ready to put our first print up today, and I think that it might be your favorite, or one of your favorites.
I mean, I'm trying not to be biased. Like, I love all of them, but I've been really excited because this one's just so different, and I'm just so excited.
Absolutely. And when you come down the hallway, which you guys will see in the tour, when you come in the door, this is going to be the first thing you see. Before it was a bunch of smaller prints.
It was our hero wall, which was a great...
Which is great, but we need something for impact.
Yes, and it's going to be so good.
Absolutely. Are you ready? Want me to do the honors?
Yeah. Stop. There you go.
So I feel like we're off.
Yep. I think to your right a little. Maybe not. Oh my God.
Does that look level?
I think so. That's an incredible thing to walk into. That's going to make all the moms who didn't do maternity be like, shoot.
I'm going to have
another
child.
Have one more.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome.
That's amazing.
All right. Should we get the rest going?
Yeah. Let's do it.
High five.
Yes.
Let's get to work. And in true HGTV, Whcc redesigned fashion, the studio is transformed. And it only took, what, 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So what I'd like to do with you right now, if it's cool, I want to walk through. Okay. And I want to talk about the theory behind the products, the reason that you chose the images, what it represents as far as your product line, because I know you put a lot of thought into this during the redesign process.
Yes.
Yes. But before we do that, I want you to tell me like your initial reaction to this, like when you walk in here now.
It's night and day. I know that when I see the before footage of when you first walk in, because I know you guys are going to show that. Yeah. And I'm going to be embarrassed because I'm going to be like, what were you thinking? That's going to be my thought, is what were we thinking with our design before? Because now you walk in and it feels so professional and open, and like even myself, I'm like, I need this in my house and I need this in my house. And I can't imagine that anybody wouldn't want all of this. Right. It's incredible.
It's really going to elevate your client experience
so much. Now we're full service.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So let's start with this vertical trio behind me. Okay. Because I can remember when we were talking about this wall, we knew what we wanted to do there, and we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
This is a fairly narrow spot.
Yeah.
This is a design that I've seen work very well in a lot of studios, because I don't know if you've ever heard it before, but most people will say, I don't have any wall space.
Yes.
Okay, well, these are 16 by 16s,
yes,
and they will fit perfectly in a narrow little spot.
Yes.
So I love the images. Like, tell me how this is going to come into like your sales when you're talking to people, because I know that you have plans for all of this.
Yeah, so this is just a very popular modern look right now. Mm-hmm. For me, matting always adds that professional seal of approval, if you will, look to photos, and I'm a big fan of this double matting. But this white and black look, everyone seems to have the white baseboard, and this is gonna go with any look. So soon, looks will change, styles change, but white and black does not. Right. It stays, and it goes with everything. And it's just very sleek and very clean.
Yes.
And it just will kind of flow over into your next design, if you will.
Yeah. Next style trend.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. And I know that when we were originally talking, I think that there's a large importance to having a trio. I think trios are very popular. Now you have two different examples, which is completely by design.
Yep.
We have a very tall vertical, which could end up being 3, 4, 5, 2, 1. All you have to do is just say, oh, let's just do one more of these if you have a great big tall space. Or if they have a little bit more, you can go a little bit larger or size down. It's very, very versatile. Now the one to your left, again, a trio, larger prints, horizontal format. So instead of being a framed piece like we have behind, which the deep matte and the frame is very much your brand.
Very much.
This is kind of stepping outside of what you have typically done in the past, correct?
This is very, very new. This is the float frame.
Yep, and the premium garter wrap with a matte laminate. So this is really a different look for you, but I think it'll be cool to have this variation and that variation.
Yes.
320 by 30s, float framed, premium garter wraps, extremely clean. Again, could be 3, 4, 5, 2, 1. Very easy for people to visualize.
Yes.
Yep. And a wonderful clean approach and clean display, if you will.
Very.
So, yeah. All right, so let's move on. Now, I want to talk about this piece right here next, because I know that you were very excited about the acrylic.
Yes.
And you were very excited about the metal that we're going to talk about in a little bit, both custom sizes. Now, tell me about this session and the popularity that you're seeing surrounding this type of session.
Yes, this is a very new trend. Even a year ago, I did my very first breastfeeding shot, maybe 2, I'm not sure. It's new. Okay. A lot of women aren't comfortable with that. With my background as a labor nurse and a lactation specialist, I help a lot of moms breastfeed still at my sessions. They'll ask me questions. I tend to make them feel very comfortable. And this particular mom, I know her personally, and she wasn't on board really with this. I didn't talk her into it, but it was something in her own mind she wanted to do, but she was like, maybe not. Yeah. But she did it, and I can't count how many times she's told me, thank God. Like, I can't tell you how thankful I am I did this. And then when I showed it to her on acrylic like this, she's literally in tears.
That's awesome.
Like she's going to make this huge in their bedroom. Like, just something that's such a precious moment that all of us moms, you probably can't relate, Matt.
I'm sorry.
But when that is over and it's your last time, it is something that's just very hard for a mom. And to freeze that like that is just the most precious thing, priceless.
And I've noticed you today, as we've been putting all the groupings up, you've been on your phone, and I think you've been sending images of these out to your clients.
Every single person on this wall has either, because a lot of my clients have become my friends. So every single person that has gotten on the wall today has either gotten an email, if we're not like social media friends, or on social media have posted and tagged and look who's on my wall.
Yeah, so, absolutely. And doing something like this, it's a big deal. This is a completely new look for your studio. Huge. You want to push that out.
Well, and I can offer these. Like before they were gorgeous. Don't get me wrong. My husband made all the frames and he did a very nice job, but I couldn't offer those to anybody. Yeah. But this, I can offer you these products and they're absolutely stunning.
Right. And I believe that they will sell themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about this awesome collage behind me. So when we were doing the design process and you sent me the images, it was just like, oh, absolutely. Like this is a done deal. I could visualize it right away. Yeah. So these are 1.5 inch standout with a black edge and then deep matte photo paper. So they have a very gallery-esque feel to it. Also, the height that they were hung at, in addition to being symmetrical with this, really takes on a gallery feel because they are a little bit lower on the wall and so easy to enjoy. I think that this is going to sell like crazy. I would, like you said, I can't relate to being a mother, but I would assume like if I was a father coming in, I'd be like, yep, I want that. Let's make sure and get that.
Because this lasts 4 weeks at the most, and this has changed already. Yeah. Babies change so fast. Right. I would love to go back and get this of my babies. I don't have this of my kids. I thought I was a photographer when I had my first. My second, I took his, but I didn't do macro shots like this. I just didn't.
Yeah, they're just absolutely stunning.
These are priceless. And I emailed this to the mom, and she thanked me profusely and said it made her whole day. Like she loves it. And she said, I can't wait for our next session.
That's awesome. And that's what it's all about. Yep. And again, talking about all the different groupings, and I know for those of you out there that follow along and listen to me talk all the time, I'm always talking about wall groupings, but with this could be many different variations. It could be hung in different shapes, sizes. You could go more or less, bigger, smaller. You have to get that seed planted. Yep. Because you can't just explain to somebody, I think this would be great. Just picture, this, and this. It's just not going to compute. So this is just wonderful. Yes. I'm so excited to hear how your clients receive all the new stuff, but especially this one.
Same.
Yeah. Same. So let's walk down here a little bit. Okay. Now, when we were designing and discussing, you were very wise how you chose things to show. This being one of them. Explain to everybody what this represents right here.
This represents our platinum year. So a platinum is every 3 months. This is the most we shoot. I mean, we'll shoot more if you want us to, but this is the most. So every 3 months, this little guy came in. We started at newborn, obviously. So the first 3 are newborn, and then we got his 3 month, 6, and then you go over to 9, and then the last 2 are 1. So we could have taken a couple out. We didn't need to do 2 ones. Yeah. We didn't need to do 3 newborns, but this is a really good example of once that first year is complete, what we could do with a wall.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can imagine during your sales presentations, because I'm sure that not everybody knows right away that they book out a year.
No, a lot of people don't. And then they'll email and be like, yeah, we do want to, or we email them and say, are you sure? At 3 months, hey, so-and-so's coming up on their 3 months. Are you sure you know? Right.
But to be able to take the walk like you're going to be doing with your clients and say, explain what this is, yes. It's going to get the gears turning and thinking about, that would be awesome because I want that. I want to look back and have the documentation of that first full year, yes. Because like you said, they change so fast.
I mean, look how much he changed every 3 months. Yeah. Especially from newborn to 3 months to 6 months, it's huge. Yeah. And so cute. And you don't get that with the regular package. And so that will be huge for us to upgrade them to our platinums because it's such a big change in the babes. Yeah.
And you designed this, again, very wisely. You use the same frame, same surface. Yes. So it all blends together. I'm sure that, the price tag on something like this retail would be quite high, but again, you could say you don't have to do this all right now. Let's do this with the newborn. We'll do this with the 3, on the way up. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And it makes it affordable, and it gives people something to be excited about. And then when they come back in, you're adding this, and this.
And I just did this week with one where we're planning now. So we picked the newborn one, and now for the next one, we picked the frame, and now we're planning what colors they're going to wear for the family for that next milestone. So you can really get a good idea to make it very matchy, if you will, for that wall display that's going to be a permanent.
Yeah, totally.
Permanent thing you're going to freeze in time.
Yeah, and again, just elevating the level of service that you're already offering. With that planning and helping out with new moms that are probably overwhelmed.
Oh, they're very tired.
I can imagine. So let's talk about this brilliant metal here on the wall. So one of the first things that you and I talked about when I came down here the first time is that first impression. Like what do you want to see when you come in? So your door is directly behind us, as you can see on camera. The first thing that somebody's going to see when they come through that door is that wall right there. And the wall that was there before was very cool. It was your hero wall. But again, just repeating what you said, it was frames that your husband had made. And it wasn't necessarily things that were for sale. It wasn't necessarily a product. And I really could see that. I'm like, we need something on that wall that's just, it's overly large. It's, the scale is huge and big, and it's something that it's attention grabbing, and you got it.
It sure did. It sure did.
Yeah, for sure. And that is a maternity image, beautiful metal, shot on the roof of the studio.
That is our roof.
Here. Yeah,
yes.
absolutely. Yeah. And, especially with your business, that's where the journey begins.
Yeah.
And you want to capture that. And if somebody hadn't done that and they're here with their newborn or their 3-month-old or 6-month-old, you want them to be like, oh, next time I want to do that.
We were joking. We said if they didn't come for the first one, they're going to say they have to have another kid just so they can come back and get one.
Absolutely.
That's okay with
That's marketing right there. Yeah.
Genius.
So that's absolutely beautiful. And it's a custom size.
It is a custom size.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. So, and for those of you that are watching now and don't know that Whcc can do custom sizes, we can do custom on pretty much anything. So if you do have a unique shape space or something that's larger than what's listed online or in Rose, give us a call. I mean, we can help out with that stuff.
And
so
you made it easy.
Yeah.
I mean, I was scared to put custom orders in. It was like intimidating.
Yeah.
But it wasn't bad.
Good.
If I can do it, trust me.
So let's slide around the corner here. We're going to check out one more grouping in this space. So I think that this is just absolutely adorable. And one of the things that you are famous for in this part of the world is your cake smashes. And that's like a huge part of your business.
Big part.
But we didn't have anything that represented that in the studio before. Now you do.
Yes.
Yeah. So these gorgeous 20 by 24 premium gallery wraps, again, matte laminate, which I'm a big fan of, gets people, again, to think in multiples.
Yes.
Yeah. So you chose this adorable little girl. Tell us about her and like your cake smash sessions. I mean, it looks like she's having a blast.
Oh yeah, she had an absolute blast, right? And she's 3, almost 4 now. Okay. And I normally would not have printed older work like that. Like a lot of this work, and some of it is older that I just can't move past because I love it so much. And this is one of them where she just had a blast, like where she tilts her little head and looks at you like, oh, I'm still eating my cake. She just had such a good time, and she's so gorgeous. And I don't know of very many 1-year-olds that have a full set of straight teeth like hers. Right? And then her mom chose such a great theme that we had never done before. And so this one just has always stuck out to me. So I've marketed her a lot. Yeah,
it's super cute. Yeah. And something that we were talking about recently is, the images and the product is uniquely tied to the session experience. Well, we just absolutely love this. So let's continue on. We've got a few more rooms to talk about, and then we're going to end up in the newborn room, which is the big collage that I'm excited to talk about with you. Yes. So let's go check out your what do you call it? The cleanup room?
Cake smash cleanup.
The cake smash cleanup room. Let's walk over there and check that out. Now, originally, we hadn't spent a lot of time talking about this area. No. But you added 2 really nice pieces that work very well. Yes. And again, very valuable real estate. The bathroom is right here. A lot of people are probably going in and out of there. Yep. This wall is valuable. You put a 30 by 40 high gloss metal print up, which is perfect for a bathroom or somewhere where there's going to be some dampness. It relates perfectly to the little tub shot. Yep.
I still have them of my son in his bathroom, and he's actually the little guy in our bathroom in here too. You'll see in a minute. But I still have those at home, and he's 6, and I just absolutely, they're perfect for bathroom. They're perfect for a mudroom. Yep. So I think everybody needs them. I honestly do.
I couldn't agree with you more. Let's go see your little boy.
Okay, let's see him. So this is this is my little guy.
Yeah, and he's so cute. And again, tell us about how the name of your business came about for those of you that don't know.
So those of you who don't know, BennyAni comes from my kids' nicknames. I have Benton, who is now 6. 3 in this picture, yes. And then I have Aniston, who is 8 going on 25, who is just like her mother, and it's terrifying. And we call her Annie. If you ask her, the business is Annie Benny, but that's a whole nother issue. So BennyAni came from that. I wanted a name that meant something, and it surely does.
We have moved into your office/sales area.
Yes.
So let's start with your family.
Oh, okay.
So your family is extremely important to you. And one of the conversations that we had sitting right here at your desk and looking at that wall is you need to have a conversation point in here. Let's put your family up.
Yes.
Because you had awesome, cute little images and frames, but I think that it's very, very important as a photographer for people to see you as a person.
Connect.
And be able to have a connection point to you and not just a business point,
Yes.
Because it's easy to switch businesses. It's not easy to leave personal relationships, kind of thing. So tell us about your family grouping because you chose it intentionally.
I did.
Yes.
Because almost as important as my family are the Vikings. I'm a diehard.
You're not a fair weather fan. You are fan all the way
I am
through.
a fan all the way. They've made me cry many a tears, but I am a fan all the way, have been my whole life, and anyone who knows me knows I'm crazy about the Vikings. I'm more crazy about my family, but that was something you had said to me, let's put something here that's a conversation piece. And this is absolutely a conversation piece. We got to do these on TCO field, and it was years ago. I mean, my son was 2 in these pictures, which means my daughter was 4. So they were years ago, but they're still huge in my own home, and they're still my favorite for many reasons. And so when you said conversation piece, not only did my family, but the Vikings popped in my head too. So
well, that's good.
It was perfect.
And it's perfect for you to have that connection point, with clients and be able to share your experience. Anytime, you're doing a presentation or a sales appointment, anytime you can take the pressure away from that and be relatable, you're going to be much more successful than trying to do like a sale and just pushing through it. So in addition to your awesome family grouping on the wall, you did put another grouping off of your right shoulder. So tell us about the reason for that, because if somebody's looking at that, they're like, well, that's 3 different kids, different frames. Like what's the reason?
Yep, definitely wouldn't group this together. Most oftentimes when somebody's sitting at my desk, I am looking for what I am selling the most. Oftentimes that is the Gallery Grand frame, which is the top one. And then oftentimes I'm trying to show them the difference between a single mat and a double mat. Okay. I'm a huge fan of double mat. I'm a huge fan of matting, period. Okay. And then the difference, so here's my Gallery Grand, but here's no mat. And then here's a single mat, here's a double mat. Yep. And I didn't have much space to work with, so that's where the sizing comes in. And then just gray is so big right now. It is. So I chose gray frames. Yeah. So that's my rhyme and reason to the sizing, but mostly it was the matting. And then I did want to show, we're out in the studio or any of my older kids, and we do milestones. Yep. So I had to show a couple of my 3-year-olds because they usually terrify me, but they're not always bad. these are good ones.
They terrify you.
They can be bad.
We are now in your newborn room.
Yes.
So let's bump out to this awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Now this is a 30-40 deep matte and a double black matte. It's an amazing piece.
It's so amazing.
That piece is going to sell itself.
It really is. And we had another piece that I couldn't decide between, and so I had you pick. And the other one was colored. Same frame and everything. Actually, it wasn't. It would have been different. It would have been white matte, which I've already done out in the other. But there's no words or there's no way to describe this unless you see it in person. Yeah. So for my clients to come in and see what a double black matte looks like, it is stunning. I sent this to the mom today too, who also just bought a bunch of prints of baby Jordy, and she was in tears. She's like, my baby's a model. And she just couldn't believe it. She tagged her husband because I put it on social media, and that just, I have goosebumps talking about it because they're just so proud. But when they see something that beautiful of their child, when I saw it, I was like just blown away.
It's fantastic, and it's a perfect size wall for it. Yes. The changing table's underneath, so people are going to be staring at that the whole time. Yeah. It's going to be fun to see how many of those go out your door.
It's going to be not so fun to see how many people ask for that pose, because not all babies do. They're all completely supported. It's a composite image, but not all of them will do that. So now it's going to be a real, we try with every baby already, but you know.
I didn't even consider that. I'm just all focused on the products.
Right,
but yeah,
right.
I'm sure
most
that
people already ask for that. Well, usually this one.
And I love that you left the negative space on both sides of it too. That very easily could have been cropped to a vertical and lost the impact.
No, yes.
But the horizontal works perfect with that.
Especially with how we did that, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've gotten to that time to talk about the big one.
I don't know if they're ready for it.
Are you sure? I think they might.
I think they've been waiting long enough.
Yeah. So let's take a tour here of the big collage for BennyAni photography now.
Yes.
I love this.
Me too.
And this definitely was a collaborative effort of talking about sizing, different frames, surfaces, all the things. So walk us through your thought process behind your float frames, standard frames, white, gray, all the things for this grouping, because I think it's brilliant.
So like we've mentioned numerous times, grays and whites are huge right now. Even if they're not in the future, they're such primary, like, you know, colors that go with everything. So I tend to go towards those a lot. And we talked about doing something funky. And we're like, if we're going to do it, let's do it big. And so we did that, and we picked the pictures, which goes very well with, and this particular family actually has some of these pieces in their home because it goes so well with what they wore too. And you did a good job of being like, put this one in this, and this in a float, and this in white. And I'm like, I can't visualize that, but I'm glad you can. And then we put it up here, and that's when I asked you if it was inappropriate or not to give you a hug because it made me so happy. This seriously blew my mind, and I hope it blows everyone's mind who walks in and they all want it, because I want it in my home.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, we've said this so many times, and I know you all have heard me say it, you absolutely cannot sell something if you don't show it. You would have exactly a 0% chance of selling this unless you had it on the wall for people to visualize. And again, it would be amazing to sell this group of 10.
It would be very
fantastic.
Amazing. Yes.
You're not going to do that with every client. We're just going to be
Absolutely
realistic.
Not.
But all the different variations, the different frames, sizes, you could take a lot of different pieces of this and sell this grouping out of it, this grouping out of it, combine this, and this. And again, I always say, this gives people the permission. You know, they maybe would never think, oh, I'm going to combine 3 frames, one of which is not even the same color as the other ones. In fact, it's a complete contrast to it in my home. But now I see it and, oh my God, I love it.
Yeah.
You know, and your set that you photographed this family on, which is in the other room, it works perfectly. So you're going to continue to use that set, which is going to make it easier for people to look at this and be like, oh yeah, I love how that looks. Yeah.
And we even have all the whites for it. For the clothes.
And to give everybody an idea of like the scale of this, so essentially if you add up all of the prints together, not the gaps, but the prints themselves, it's about 110 inches. So it's a good size piece. And again, it's probably not something that is going to be marketable or saleable to every single person, but you don't have the chance of selling something like this unless you have it available to look at. You know, and as we've been talking, you know, in the last few months, and you've been absorbing and really working on business and your sales and all the things, and we'll get much more deep into this during our interview process, but I want to congratulate you on being really willing to put the work in. And just doing this piece of it is huge, you know, and for everybody out there listening, we've said it before, I'll continue to say it, this is, it's a big thing. It's a big investment of time, you know, resources, financial, all the things. But at the end of the day, you know, you sell one of these groupings or one in the hallway or 2 of them, and then you do that every day or 3 times a week or 5 times a week. And the investment that you have in all those things becomes so minute compared to what the outcome really is. So congratulations on doing it. And working hard at it. So, but I look forward to sitting down with you. We'll get into the weeds. We'll talk about some of the things that we've talked about, pricing, your product sales, all that kind of stuff, and we're excited to do that. So, thanks for the tour.
Thank you.
We've had a great time today.
Yeah.
Now I think it's time to relax a little bit.
Let's.
Sounds good. And
Let's just sit here and stare at it.
Yeah, I heard you say that earlier. Like, I think I'm just going to walk around here tonight and stare at all this stuff. So thank you for joining us, and we look forward to being back with you really soon.